Hello, this is Charting Man Dan of TheChartGuys, where we teach the little guy and girl how to utilize charts to manage their own trades and investments. What do I mean by the little guy and girl? Well, we just had 2 directives signed halting the implementation of a rule that requires financial advisors to act in the best interests of their client. Let that sink in a little bit. The big wigs on Wall Street can play with your retirement and hard-earned money without your best interests at heart. We currently have hundreds of members taking charge of their financial future, and we would love for you to come check out a free week with no credit card required to see if our services would be beneficial on your path to financial independence as well. What we offer, we have a separate course of over 5 hours in length on when to enter and exit positions. And in terms of what we do daily, we have nightly videos, key levels updated each morning before the bell, 2.5 hours of live daily webcam coverage in the morning and in the afternoon, and over 7 hours of educational videos. All of these links can be found in the description of this video. Come check us out. Thanks for watching. Let's get on to the technical analysis. Checking in on CMG SKX NKE and TWTR daily weekly time frame. So CMG bulls, after getting that bullish break over 421 resistance and closing strong, we saw a nice follow through and we got up to resistance of 425.61 and we fell short by 2 pennies. But the bulls broke that level today, and we continue to see higher lows and higher highs. So the bulls are in good position as we do head to the end of this week. I'm looking at resistance of 427.67 and 434.58, but it's the weekly chart that the bulls are really liking. After 3 rejections in a row from the 50-week moving average resistance of 417.37, the bulls are looking to close over that this week, turn it into support, and then start to try and change this trend. You can see the Bollinger Bands are leveling out, the price action leveling out with it, and if we see a break of 434.58, we start to break the lower high pattern. And for me, a big test is going to be the low 440s. We have 444, 441, and 440 as 3 little tops here. And if we get above those levels, the trend change is underway. So it's a pretty important time frame in the next month for CMG to see if we get continuation here. And the Bollinger Bands are going to start expanding back towards the upside. SKX breaking the gap fill level. So 26.26 was the level to hold to maintain before filling that gap. Clear bear break on increasing bear volume and a big move to the downside filling that gap. So 4 red days in a row after the gap up, bulls unable to hold that strength, and we are now working on filling the gap. We do have plenty of support levels, 25.23 moving average. We've got 24.90, the middle Bollinger Band, and we're watching very close to see if the bulls can maintain those levels, because if not, we're going to keep an eye on this gap fill all the way down at 23.53. The weekly time frame shows that pullback here, and it's significant at this point. Rejecting from the upper Bollinger Band yet again. We saw 2 red weeks after the last breakout and rejection from the upper Bollinger Band, and here we are again seeing a red week after a rejection. So the bulls are trying to see some upside here. We know the longer-term prevailing downtrend is still intact, and this is not the follow-through and confidence-building week that the bulls wanted after that breakout. NKE is also getting a little toppy after a final push to the upside with a gap up. Gap ups are for profit taking more often than not. That's a general rule of thumb. And we are seeing a bit of a pullback. We've got normal healthy consolidation after the breakout. 56.10 and 55.75 are support levels. And we are watching that $60 resistance on the weekly time frame. This is a bearish spinning top candlestick on the weekly time frame. And if we see a red week next week, losing the weekly upper Bollinger Band support, we will look for pullback from there. So we are seeing resistance here. Maybe we don't get to $60. Maybe this is another one of these lower highs. So watching very close for signals on the daily time frame for NKE. Perhaps increasing bearish volume would make us more comfortable taking a bearish position, and definitely looking for this overall prevailing downtrend to remain intact. Question is going to be, is our bearish entry now, or do the bulls see a little bit more upside getting closer to that $60 resistance level? So tomorrow's going to be pretty telling in terms of what kind of follow-through we see and what kind of volume is associated with it. Looking at Twitter, oversold bounce and weakness, close at the low of the day. I like the positioning on Twitter because we could see, if we see market consolidation, we have to keep in mind whatever's going on these individual names is occurring when the market has been more bullish than it's been in recent memory. We're at all-time highs 5+ days in a row, and we're just on absolute fire, and Twitter is just seeing a little weak oversold bounce. So resistance is 1689. I'm looking at support of 1630, and then down to 1585. And on the weekly time frame, we are seeing that lower high, lower low pattern, and we're looking down at the all-time low of 1372, and then down 13, that is the all-time low. So 1372 So an ideal scenario would be a bearish entry and then just letting it ride out while we see the market consolidate a little bit and seeing the Twitter bears drive the price back down towards that all-time low, as that certainly is the direction that we are headed in. So I appreciate you watching. We'll check back in over the weekend to wrap everything up, and I'll see you then.